Hi there, I'm Cary Moss with Sawyer and Sawyer, and with me.
It's Tom Moss. I'm also with Sawyer and Sawyer.
Okay, so this is a new thing for us, and we're going to just kind of initially talk about um, our how we met and our backgrounds and kind of the start of the firm and what's led us to this point now.
Great. Where did each of you grow up?
So, Tom, why don't you start with where you grew up?
Sure, I'm a fourth generation Floridian. I'm from Marco Island, Florida. My family owns a fish house down in Goodland, Florida. And my father had a motorcycle shop down in Naples, and I grew up down in the Marco Island area.
And I grew up right here in Central Florida in the southwest part of Orlando. And I am not fourth generation, but I have lived here and was born here. A true Floridian.
How did you two meet?
So I went to University of Florida for undergrad. And once I graduated from University of Florida, I then went to law school at Stetson University, and the law school campus is located in St. Petersburg. And so started there, and Tom started at the same time. So we met our first year of law school. We were in different sections, but nonetheless, mutual friends. And it's where we initially met.
What inspired you to pursue law?
For me, I always wanted not to be blue collar. So my family was very blue collar and they worked hard every day and sweated. And I thought when I was young, I wanted to be a dentist because that's the only professional that I knew that there was someone that I went in there and he had an office. So I thought I wanted to be a dentist, which now I can't imagine being a dentist. But when I was young, I know I wanted to be a something that was in the business world or something that was more professional, I suppose. So when I went to college, I went to Bowling Green State University. And the reason I chose that is they have a connection with American Honda because American Honda is based out of Ohio. And at that time, my dad had a Honda dealership. So I thought I would go into the business world and maybe work for American Honda or do something to that nature. But just so happens one day, one of the last days of I was at Bowling Green, I was walking to one of my last classes and one of my friends who's now an attorney now, Joe Joseph, said he was going to take the LSAT. And I really didn't even know what that was. And I asked him if I could take it. And he didn't know. Wasn't really worried about me. He was worried about himself, I'm sure, because he was trying to pass the LSAT. And I called in and I found out I could take it. And I studied for about a week. And then I took the LSAT and went to law school. And that worked out ever since.
What is the process for a new client? What does that look like?
We've grown over the years, obviously. We used to take a phone call and take the client and move on from there. But, luckily with growing, we learn more and we become more efficient. And the process now involves, we have an estate planning coordinator that someone, when they call in, they're assigned a person and they call the client to make sure that client's a good fit for our firm and for what they're expecting and what we can deliver to make sure that the product that we deliver at Sawyer and Sawyer is going to be the right one for the client, because ultimately that's what's most important. So from that first meeting, they make sure that they vet them and that it's going to be a good fit. And from that point in, we send out different intake forms to make sure that we can gather information ahead of time so that we're not wasting the client's time when they come and see us. We understand their time's valuable so that we can get in here and we know their names, we know their family situations, and we know assets and titling and different things of that nature. So we don't have to bore them for an hour and a half asking, questions that can be taken care of ahead of time. During that process, we schedule all the meetings so that we have the introductory meeting, we have the review meetings, and we have the signings all set so that it ensures that the file moves in an efficient manner so that it's not delayed, because obviously there's a reason people came to see us, and that's to get their estate planning done. So that we want to make sure that gets done in a timely manner. So that's all scheduled during that time. At that point, they will have the first meeting with the attorney. In our office, you will meet with an attorney. So the attorney meets with the client, goes over their intake, finds out any particular family situations, family needs, and we address that, make recommendations for the client. At that time, the client will know exactly what they're going to pay. We give them a fee. We make sure they understand that fee and they agree upon it so that there's no confusion as to fees, because I understand that's, a big concern for a lot of our clients. Everyone knows that attorneys aren't cheap and that they want to make sure they understand what they're paying, and we let them know up front. From that point, we go forward and we draft documents. We send them out ahead of time so our clients can review them. They will come back for a review meeting. Again, you will review them with an attorney. And at that time, you go through the documents. We have big screen TVs that are 60, 70 inches big, and the documents are put up on the screens and we show them, we explain them to the clients to make sure that they have a general understanding of what they're signing. We're not asking our clients to become estate planning attorneys, but it is their personal document. We want them to have a general understanding of what they're doing. We'll make sure the documents reflect their intent, make sure they're correct, make changes as necessary. And then the clients will come in for a last meeting, which is the signing, and the documents will be signed. At our office too, we recognize the importance of the proper funding of documents and asset titling. So depending on whether you have a will-based plan or a trust-based plan, we do schedule one last telephone conference or Zoom meeting with our clients to go over all the assets that they disclosed so that we have the proper titling, the proper beneficiary designations. If there's a trust, the proper funding of the trust, whether that's through asset ownership changes or whether that's through beneficiary designations, to ensure that the plan that they spent money on is properly implemented and put into effect. And from that point on, we typically close out the file. That doesn't mean we're going to end our relationship with our clients, but that does end our job at that time. And of course, anytime in the future, our clients are willing to come back and see us and we can make changes as necessary. And in addition, we do offer Sawyer Support, which allows our clients the benefit of anything from just simply storing documents, our office, to having annual meetings and reviews as they acquire assets, and to ensure that they have someone on call that they can come and see us and talk about their particular situations throughout the year. And that's all optional and based upon different clients' needs and different clients' wants.
Tom, tell me what the favorite part of your practice is. Like, if you could just choose one thing to do within the firm that gives you the most satisfaction, what would that be?
Well, I think I'm a people person. I love hearing people's stories and I like talking. So for me, I love the initial consultation with my clients. I love hearing their personal situation, their personal successes in their life. I think it's amazing how many people come to see me, and how many different ways there are to make a living and be successful and be good members of their family and good fathers and good mothers and good grandparents. And I love hearing those stories. And to me, that's the most rewarding part, is being able to listen to those stories, listening to their challenges and helping them, and giving them, just comfort that, hey, things are going to be taken care of. And someone giving them comfort that they can trust me and trust our firm. And that to me is by far the most rewarding part of my job.